So here we go.
All right, so
So now we're live under mine, I think.
Grant, search Jennifer
I
Benton,
think you already followed
and
me.
it should have a picture.
What are you playing? I love music.
Jennifer Benton.
You popped up pretty quickly. You're a popular person.
That's
But it
funny.
didn't show that you're live. Look on
Oh, wait.
the. Are you sure you logged into the right
Live on
one?
my end.
Oh, okay. Can you see us? There it goes. Oh, hey.
Okay. Oh, I see. Hold on. I must be in. Hold on. Let me fix this real quick. Sorry. What?
So.
Wait. Are you? Whose phone are you on? Who are you
I'm
signing
on
to?
your phone,
Who you-
logged in as Test of the Series.
You're logged in as Test of the Series?
Yeah.
I'm like 18 pounds over fighting weight right now.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Let me see if it's. I'm gonna see if
I'm
some
taking some good notes though. Y'all got a. This is a crazy looking resume.
Dude, I know. It's been a crazy cool. It's been a crazy cool. I mean, when I tell you, like, even when we went to Atlanta, why is this not working? What am I saying? Why am I echoing in there?
It's because we're on the phone.
No, you just turn it down. Oh, you can't turn it down.
Because then I won't be able to hear the phone call.
Well, how'd you do it earlier?
I don't know.
Are y'all receiving anything through my iPad or is it just through the phone?
No, that's what you're hearing is he had signed in through. Well, I don't know what you did, but it's not doing it anymore, is it?
No.
I have no idea what I did. I gave it a phone number and I gave it a nickname and then it let me in.
Alright, so
I haven't even looked at my, like, if I have a profile or something.
I'm gonna be very careful about what I say, but we're discussing our film Test of the Series, which is based on the book of Job. And if you like to talk about Jesus and God, stay tuned for this live. And if we get banned, then we get banned.
I don't see us getting banned. We're talking about producing Tested the Series and our movie Tested, all based off the book of Job. Well, Tested the Series is actually going to show you the behind the scenes, all the supernatural, and a 13 year in the making. And you notice I said 13 years because that means by next year. And I say by next year, I mean 2027, which is actually way less than a year away. So, and I mean filmed, maybe already filmed, but definitely a way different position than we're in right this second. Right this second, we're in, I don't even want to say the baby phase. I want to say we're like in a teenager area. We just had a little pause, and now we're about to ignite it up, and it's about to be full blown grown. And in the producing, literal filming stage.
So to give you a little our background, I'm going to tell you the movies we've worked on, and I'm going to tell you backwards because they're listed as the most recent first. Case for Christ, Vengeance, a Love Story starring Nicolas Cage, Magnificent Seven starring Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt, Joe Dirt 2 starring David Spade.
And boy, this just makes me realize that we were actually going to make a show. This reminds me of our idea we had because of the insaneness of our career and like the way we got positions, what happened in these positions. Even that's Joe Dirt 2 alone. I can't, I'm not going into that right now because that's a whole nother day. But it just is actually surreal to me looking back at our resume or some of the shows we've worked on. He's got a little list going here. Because we try to remember, and believe it or not, you forget all the shows you worked on because we worked on so many. I mean, I
Together.
Together.
An extreme anomaly.
98% of the time, one of us or both of us would both get on the show. Which I don't know if you know how hard it is to work in the movie industry, but even to get on crew is crazy. It is a hustle.
So let me
And-
tell you a story about how hard it is to get on the movie business.
Or get on
She
set.
got hired on Django Unchained, and I didn't get the call. So I went to crew parking every day and sat in crew parking for 12 hours while she worked.
Well,
And
you were
I
talking
told
to people
I told
and-
her boss, hey, if anybody calls in or
I'm
you
here.
need anybody, I'm in the parking lot.
Like
I
2
did that
weeks
for
there.
3 days.
I think it was 3 days, yeah.
I sat in the parking lot for 3 days.
And then
praying.
bam, somebody called in, and guess what? He got popped in there. Because it's really good money, and it's so much fun, and you learn so much.
And it's a Quentin Tarantino movie.
And it was Quentin Tarantino, Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, this was a big movie. And so to get on crew is a big deal. And Chad was like, I'm going to get on this too. For some reason, a lot of times we got hired together. Like, I would get a position and I would hire him, or he'd get a position and hire me. But either way, it was really cool how we were always able to mesh right up in there. And that's crazy.
So let me tell you some more films we worked on. The Haulers, directed by John Krasinski, starring John Krasinski and Anna Kendrick. American Hero with Eddie Griffin. Maggie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is a lot of people haven't seen, but that's probably his finest acting.
What-
He plays a father whose daughter gets bitten by a zombie.
And what's the fun fact on the side? Because,
Yeah. So Jen walked on set one day and they were discussing the creature, the fox, and Arnold Schwarzenegger goes, "There's your fox right there."
Arnold Schwarzenegger called me a fox. So, like, that's a fun fact I always tell people because that's so funny. But anyway, that was cool.
So the Fantastic Four, the middle one with Miles Teller and Kate Mara. Dark Places with Charlize Theron.
Oh, that's
Olympic-
a thing too. We ended up on a lot of movies that were dark. I mean, like, really. So Case for Christ and, like, I don't know, a couple other ones. Most of the movies
So Dark
we
Places
worked on
is
were-
about a cult.
Yeah.
Who
So
kills
was
people.
the East. So was
the
I mean,
East.
We worked
So
on
was
so many
Texas
movies.
Chainsaw Massacre 3D. And that's about a man that puts on people's faces and kills people.
Leatherface.
And one of the sets was his
Golly,
actual
that's
workroom with a bunch of human skin hanging on the wall. And I still have nightmares about this
Well,
room.
because we were on set all the time, so we were you're around this, and even though it's just a set, it's the visuals. It's pretty crazy. Oh, we even had a dungeon, and it was a real dungeon. We used a place in downtown Shreveport, and it was we went down and we turned it into a dungeon, and you went down instead of going downstairs. It was like you were really going into like a dungeon. It was gangsta. It really was. Why are you turning the volume up?
I joined again, and
Oh.
I'm going to have to get out of it.
Yeah, I don't know why. We'll get to this technical stuff. I don't feel like we probably will be able to have the other. It just helps to have them, but anyway. And you don't have to keep.
Well, right now, we're telling you about Tested the Movie, which is based off the book of Job in the Bible. And Tested the Series is what we're doing right now, which is telling you the behind the scenes. Right now, we're discussing our career. And I was saying some of the movies that we worked on. Dark Places with Charlize Theron. Olympus Has Fallen with Gerard Butler and Morgan Freeman. Dude, when you get to work with Morgan Freeman and you hear that voice in person, you cry a little bit because it's like, oh
It's
my
pretty epic, yeah.
It's pretty epic. Ain't Them Body Saints with Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara. This Is the End with Seth Rogen, James Franco, Danny McBride, Jonah Hill,
The
Craig
whole
Robinson,
clan. We had the whole clan. They had John Cena. They had a lot of
Kevin Hart.
Rihanna. I mean, they had a lot of one-dayers that just came in to like film one scene, which was that opening scene. But still,
Because the
there
movie
was
is
a
literally
crazy-
about the apocalypse. So while we're sitting here telling you about a film we're making based off the book of Job, we're also telling you the dark movies we worked on, like Dark Places, which is about a cult that kills people. The East, which is about a cult that
You know
kills
what's
people.
not on here? Abattoir, that movie that was a cult that was. We've worked on a lot of dark movies. Actually, looking in retrospect, it's kind of shocking to me how many of these movies were dark. But there were some fun ones. Playing for Keeps, Battleship was fun. Twilight.
Oh, shoot.
Super. That was crazy.
Twilight, Breaking
Starlight
Dawn,
was dark. So, yeah,
Battle
we
of
must-
Los Angeles.
So I would say 60% of the movies we worked on,
Now that's just our movies. Let's not forget the TV shows we worked on.
which are longer. You
Sleepy
get a longer-
Hollow, Underground, Really, which is an Amazon pilot that didn't get picked up.
Bonnie and Clyde. That was crazy.
Salem. Salem, we built an
Oh,
entire
man.
1600s
We'll show y'all some
Massachusetts
pictures.
town.
We'll show y'all some pictures. It's really cool because basically we literally destroyed these woods. Well, I say destroyed. We went from woods to an entire set. That was we built, which is gangsta too because it's about witches and stuff. But we built all the buildings, the church. The center of the set was the what's that chopping block where you chop their head off?
The guillotine.
I shouldn't say that on here, but a what? I know that was probably
Blah,
not.
blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we've worked on some dark movies. We also worked on some dark TV shows. Bonnie and Clyde was about two killers. Salem was about witches who
Wow.
get killed.
Just looking at
True
this
Detective, if season 1 with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, that got real dark,
dark.
bro. Like the first day of set was the first scene in the movie where the
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do it.
Treme, which is about New Orleans after Katrina, so we've had to recreate a lot of badness.
Plus, worked in New Orleans, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on New Orleans because there's some really coolness, but like, New Orleans can.
And let's not
have some
mention the special events that we got to work on. The Miss USA pageant.
Yeah, that was
Monday Night Football, bro. We got to be cameramen
on the freaking
on the field.
Field, that was so cool.
With the Saints game versus somebody, I don't know.
That girl had a red bike. That was cool.
We did a reality show called Tattoo School.
Just it goes on and on.
Man, looking back at our resume,
I
that's
just
a pretty
didn't realize,
solid resume.
but I didn't realize how much dark stuff we worked on. I knew we worked on a lot of dark
That
stuff,
is
but
such a solid resume.
it's and a lot of those, like for instance, we worked some of them. Battle of Los Angeles alone was 6 months of our life. 6 months of our life. And I mean, like, you had breaks because it was during, we worked through the, a lot of times the business is slower in like November, December, January because the holidays. But for some reason, we worked through all that. Because I remember it snowed on set and all the California crew members were like, this is so cool. We never see snow. I mean, it was just like little snowflakes, but it was so
Well, we
cool.
started in September when
But,
it was 110 degrees.
But what I was going to say is for 6 months, and like you get mini breaks, like a week, maybe a week for Thanksgiving off, but you work we worked such intense hours, but we didn't ever feel like we were working because we were literally on set with family filming a movie and just that we never felt like we were working. I mean, a couple of times we did because it gets hard. I mean, you get tired, the hours are crazy, but it was such a awesome. It was awesome. Which I don't know why we're getting a little off track because we're talking more about our career.
Well,
but I mean,
what we're saying is that films like God's Not Dead and War Room, any Kendrick Brothers movies, they got into it to just produce a message. So they never worked on films before. We have worked on a lot of films and know how the machine works.
Right.
So the goal with Tested the Movie is to not make a cheesy Christian movie. No offense to, I've watched them all because I am a Christian and I want to support Christian filmmakers. But the goal of most Christian movies is not to have excellent filmmaking. They don't care about the quality of the acting. They don't care about the quality of the cinematography. They don't care about having depth in their plot structure. They only care about is these people are Christians and they're good, and the other characters are non-Christians and they're bad. Go.
well, and it's just the cheesy, the super cheese that literally. I feel like that cheese. Some of the cheese is fun and funny, and you kind of laugh about it, but we can't have cheese with this because I thought that was because this is such a serious thing. Even though we're gonna have fun, it's gonna have some fun and games, and it's gonna be, entertaining. It's too serious to be any cheese. We can't have cheese. Cheese takes you out of it. We need you in it, so it can't be cheesy. I guess that's your point.
Agreed.
Yes.
So, and not that they go for cheese. I don't think they go for cheese. I just think that
I don't think they're seasoned filmmakers
They're not
who
filmmakers.
recognize
Right.
cheese.
well, they don't understand how it comes across until it's too late, and then it's just like, oh, well, it's going to be a little cheesy. But if you're a filmmaker, you kind of know what works and don't work. You've seen it so much because you watch so many takes. You watch so many actors and just so many different options that you kind of see what works and don't work. Like, immediately we can tell you, like, after watching a scene, we're like, oh, that one, mm-mm. You know, like, you can just tell. It's so different watching something versus reading it. So, like, reading a script, you can read the entire script of this movie and you can read it 3 times. But I promise you, watching it will still be like you're watching it. I guess you could say it's similar to, you know, you read a book, but then you see it on the screen and it's totally different, but it's, sometimes it works when they change it, sometimes it don't, but like, it's a totally different experience. And like, even though you read what happens-ish, seeing it transform over the screen with the actors and the music and the sets and the, it just, you're there. It puts you there. Different than just reading it.
And what tested the series, which is us documenting making the film, you get to be on set watching the actors do multiple takes. And you're going to be fascinated to get to actually watch that process.
Right.
Most of the time you see the behind the scenes after the movie's been in theaters and come out on DVD.
Well, and that's so, they don't do that much anymore. So it'll be nice to have that again, especially for something like this, because we're not just we're going to document the fun, the funny, the outtakes, the supernatural. I mean, it's going to be so documented that it's going to be its own, what's the word I'm looking for?
Thing.
Its own thing. They're like going to be separate, but same. It's almost like you can't not see it. Even if,
Most producers would say, oh, you can't give anything away because then people won't go see your movie. I happen to feel the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if people got to see this being filmed as it's being filmed, then they're going to be fans, and when the movie does come out in the theaters, they're going to be the first ones to see it.
Right.
Even though they probably know all the plot points. People want to see the final assembled product with music and I wonder which take they're going to do of Satan. Are they going
You know
to
what's
do
crazy too, though? I just thought about, because there are those certain ones that don't want to know everything. So we'll figure out a way how this is going to pan out.
Well,
There are
Test of the
some people who
Series
don't
isn't
want-
going to be the most popular web series.
Well, let's be
ever.
honest. There'll be a lot of atheists and agnostics that probably will watch this movie because of the good versus evil aspect and the protagonist and antagonist and all that. But most people know the outcome and the story of Job anyways. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just modern day. So we're just adding a little panache of the newness of the world versus, you know, the story in the Bible, which again is 90, or not 90%, but like 60% the friends just constantly telling Job that he
You must have done something wrong.
did something wrong, which is crazy. But
So
I feel
some
like-
other things about the movie that I feel will appeal. It's set in 2007, before the iPhone came out. The iPhone came out in the year 2007. So you
nostalgia.
get to see what people's life was like right before social media took over.
Yeah.
There's also a scene when Job's in the hospital, when a young girl with cancer comes in and has a...
It's not just you, because I don't think anybody's in here either. I know. It's just the
a little
test.
discouraging.
But we could probably pause this for a second, just chat with... I mean, I know you want to get it all on recording. I guess it don't matter since nobody's in here.
No, I was more worried about... This is basically like Grant interviewing us.
Sort of,
So,
yeah. We'll do better than
I'm
this.
trying
though.
to
We're not
come up with-
We're gonna
organized.
have to do that sort of thing like tomorrow in our Sunday best. We're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
jump two down, and I've got a lot written down here, and I've got questions in front of me that I can ask y'all.
Yeah.
Did you get the text I just sent with the actual resume?
Yes, sir. I'm looking at it right now.
Man,
You know what's funny is that doesn't even have it all. Like, that was...
it's nice to share with you because usually when I pass that out, I feel a little braggy. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Why don't you think we put everything
My
on
hat's
there?
off to y'all. I can ask y'all these sort of questions later, but like, what was it like working on Battleship?
That was actually
That
crazy.
would be so cool.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about that movie is the budget was so high, but yet it didn't improve the quality of the
No.
storytelling. Did you actually see it?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
We
I
didn't
watched
work on
this
that
in
movie.
theaters
That's a
and
spectacle.
It's like one of my favorites now.
Oh wow, we didn't work on that movie full, like from beginning to end. That's also a drastic different thing. Like we didn't put some movies on there that we only worked like you can day play on movies. You can work just like 2 weeks on a movie. Some of them you can work from pre-production all the way to post-production. So like a lot of the things we worked on, we don't even put on there because we just worked on it for like 2 weeks here. We were fillers or whatever, floaters.
Yes, ma'am.
Battleship, actually, the only reason we put that on there, I think we only worked on that for like 2.5, 3 weeks. It was still really cool, but we didn't really get to see it from beginning to end. And
Well, see, we actually worked as greensmen, which is a part of the art department that just deals with literally
All the-
trees
yeah.
and shrubs and flowers.
plants, anything in the movie that is bio.
So there was actually just one set that had a drastic amount of plants and trees that needed to be trimmed for the shot. So we weren't on set
Yeah, that was a
filming.
different-
We were ahead of set. And so
But we'd stay because we'd love to see some of the stuff. But
Right.
you're less entrenched in set and like in the actual filming when you get jobs like that. Even though that's fun too, because it has its own little camaraderie with the crew, and you're still involved. You still get to have lunch with everyone. I mean, it's still cool.
you also
But-
get the call sheets in your email so you know where they're filming,
You have
who's
all
in the
that.
shots. You get the script, even though you don't really need it for the particular job
Right.
that you're doing. You still have access to it. You know where the production office is at. So as far as tested goes, we know what we're doing as far as producing goes because we've done so many different jobs, but all require knowledge of the clock. You got to know how each gear works in the clock for it to
Yeah.
tell time.
And that's the one thing I will say that we have a uniqueness of is because a lot of people, I guess more people, not a lot, have done what some people, not even a lot, have done what we've done as far as like, we learned the entire machine because of so many different opportunities we've had versus, not say the entire machine, like we didn't have
Well,
every
like
single
producers
position,
are
but-
not creative people. They're basically bankers and car salesmen who just talk a lot. What they're doing is trying to sell a package to investors
and try
to get money to hand to creative
They
people.
manage the money, which we also had to do. Because, like, I would have a budget of, like, what was my budget when I went? I actually combined it. It was like $25,000 for set decorations with Homeboy. I can't think of his name. So, like, we dealt with a lot of money. And, like, I had to manage a crew of, like, 20 people. That's a lot. And so, and on top of just trying to do your own job, which is really a lot. So, like, we had some opportunities where the experience alone, I feel like it changed us, and that's why I think God placed this on us, because this is going to be so different than anything ever before, which I hate saying that because that sounds so cliche. This is different than anything ever before. But I really
But
believe...
from a cultural perspective, there's very few Christians, professing Christians, on any of the sets we worked on. And usually when someone would go to my Facebook page and see me talking about Jesus, they'd be like, "Oh, you're a Christian, huh? You don't like gay people?" I'm like, "Where did you get that?" I never mentioned
Not
gay
really,
people.
though. For the most part, people... we didn't push the issue as much. We didn't hide it, but we didn't go around, we're Christians, or, it just didn't really,
But I do believe that's why God called us.
And
to
some
this.
people-
We have this filmmaking skills, but
I get
we're...
it. Y'all are definitely called.
yes, 100%. It's just
You're
so
definitely called
obvious.
to this position.
Yeah.
And
I think you were too. That's what's so
the
crazy.
message, though. That's Jesus saves. I do not. Jesus does.
Amen.
Amen to that. I know a lot of...
Yeah, I've got a lot of these. I've got your resume basically written down, and the conversation that we've had so far, and y'all's resume can get broken down. This is going to be really good for someone else to see that, y'all are the real deal. Y'all are the actors, the producers, the directors, and you're good at what you do. A master of your craft, decades in the making, and
Yeah.
now we're here, and God is
Now we're
really
here.
I'm of the belief he's already done it.
And
Well, and this is so much bigger
Laying in
than
the lap of
any.
somebody who needs to see it.
Yes.
And this is just us being employees of the kingdom of heaven.
And this is so much bigger than we are, and this is so much bigger than our entire resume combined, because this will change people's lives. This is going to be, revolutionary is not the word, so forgive me for that, but
well, let's just
I'm not trying to.
let's just put it out there. We want Theo Vaughn to play Job's brother-in-law. Well, in real life, Theo Vaughn is almost a professing Christian.
He is a professing Christian because he's a baby Christian. He is a professing Christian. He said Jesus is his Lord and Savior. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you say that, you may not mean it, but you're saying it. Something's going on there. I'm not going to say he's just full-blown rocking but so he's...
he actually went to church on Easter Sunday with Brett Cooper and Candace Owens.
Oh, that's right. That's interesting.
And was just showing some love. So if Theo's in this movie, those two people it's going to be on their radar. When Theo plays in this movie, as soon as he films his first scene, we'll invite those people to come to set. Mm-hmm. And that will spread the word, and people...
It's just going to domino. And again...
Tucker Carlson.
When I say this is going to be big, I don't mean, we're going to do so good. I mean, it's going to be...
Come to set.
Matter of fact, in the film business, doing good is having a high box office. Well, I can't guarantee there's going to be a high box office for this film. Mm-hmm. So we're not actually looking for investors, because you can't pitch it to somebody and say, you're going to make a ton of money. Right. This may lose money. So we're trying to get sponsors for Test of the Series to fund the film, because if it doesn't do good at the box office, then we don't have investors hanging over our shoulder. We're going to raise the money independently,
right? And
we're going to treat it like God's money and spend it properly.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do believe, look, if one person gives their life to Jesus because they saw this film, it's a success. Here we go with another supernatural.
No, I've had this dry.
I ain't coughed once since I saw you last.
After me though, but I've had this cough too.
No, remember when we were at Granson, I got a coughing fit.
Oh yeah, that's true. Hopefully it's not the
same.
You two
need to stop coughing, get real.
True that, man.
But as far as Test of being a success, filmmakers go by box office, but since streaming began, you can't use box office as a metric. You can't say what is a success and what's not, because the movies on Netflix, like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck just had a movie called The Rip come out on Netflix.
That's right.
Which I thought was pretty good. You could tell that an AI wrote it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I forgot.
But who's to say whether it was a success or not? Netflix doesn't even tell you how many people watched it. They don't release their numbers. So the only way to gauge whether Test is a success is if people online are saying, you know what, this really drew me closer to God. Grant's performance as Satan was so spot on that I know my enemy now. And I don't think we've written Satan as this cartoonish, devilish, ghoulish creature. I think that Grant's performance as Satan will actually show you that Satan really does believe that humans are not worthy of God's love. They really do believe that humans only worship God because they can get something out of it.
Looking at him like a vending machine. And honestly, too, it annoys him. I'm guessing, I'm saying I'm guessing, but from what I feel is that it annoys him that we haven't messed up like him, and he wants more people to mess up like him. You know how a lot of people, misery loves company, and a lot of people are like that too. Not that they mean to be, human behavior, but when they do something yuck, they kind of want to bring down people with them. So I feel like that's where he's at. He just wants to bring us down and do things like he does instead of staying on the path that God has us for us, you know? I mean, that's true. Don't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Very much true.
I do believe the character of Satan, even when he's speaking to Jesus, he's like, why are you doing this? They are not worthy of your sacrifice. Come down off that cross.
Yes.
and then, I also think that so there's a scene at the beginning where Satan, it starts on his eyes and the camera pulls back and it reveals that he's in this cockpit of this plane. Then you pull back even further and it shows the World Trade Center, and then boom, the fireball comes at you through the camera, so you know that Satan is who caused.
Right. Because I will say this is something that I think is cool, or I say, Satan is not omnipresent. So he cannot be everywhere at once. So he's not all around the world messing with millions of different people, right? But showing him at the World Trade Center, he's after the big dogs and he's after the big moments. That's a big moment for him because it changed the world, literally. You can't even fly the same after that day.
Yep.
So he wants to be a part of that stuff. He's like famous.
Satan wasn't in Jeffrey Epstein's ear. Jeffrey Epstein was already doing what Satan
Well, he might have
wanted to
been.
do.
That was a big deal. That's a big deal. So he might have really taken the time to go visit with him. But I don't know. I'm just saying they might have been good friends. It seems like because that dude, that's
Oh,
bad.
they're probably real good friends.
Yeah.
But who's Satan going after? The people that
And like, I'm not gonna say his name, but Mustache Man. That's what they say. Mustache Man.
Yeah, you
Don't say his
definitely
name.
I
flagged.
don't know if we get in trouble for that. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
would
I'm not
definitely-
even gonna. But I'm saying that's another thing that hit me really hard. It's like so many people are like, oh, Satan, man. Or like, the cute little Not Today Satan, which is cute, and I get it. But like, honestly, unless you're an actual threat, which we are kind of at this point, so, but then he don't have time for you. He don't have time for people who are not even giving their life to Christ.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
like they're not a
employees of
threat.
heaven.
Yeah, they doing exactly what he wants. They living up in the world, doing hedonistic, whatever. So like, keep on doing you, boo boo. That's where he's at with other people, So like,
I'm gonna go ahead and stop this live.
Oh,
Grant,
yeah,
stay
that's
on the
true.
phone.
I'll do it.
It's getting close to telling Lucy good night.